Welcome back to The Real Story. Ohio Governor Kasich, John Kasich, depended on that strong ground game in an all-or-nothing move in New Hampshire that paid off dividends for him last night. But he's leaving that behind now as his focus shifts to South Carolina, where the PAC has different challenges ahead. Last night, he thanked our next guest, as well as the volunteers in his campaign, for all the sacrifices they made to make his primary night successful.
We also want to spend a little time thanking former Senator Gordon Humphrey. Now, this man, Gordon Humphrey, sends me an email, and he says, this is the hot plate that changed the world. Guys are sleeping on mattresses in the campaign headquarters, and they hold up a hot plate where they're eating their food. That's how you win elections. That's how you do it.
And time to bring in that man, Gordon Humphrey, former New Hampshire senator and John Kasich supporter. I'm going to get to the hot plate in a minute, Senator. But first, congratulations on a second-place win. I think it's really fascinating because going now to South Carolina, many people were saying, well, Kasich maybe doesn't have the infrastructure, maybe he doesn't have the money. An interesting tweet went out that they went from 60 RSVPs to over 360 overnight to an event in South Carolina. What's happening?
Well, we have the momentum. It was a dramatic upset, Gretchen, and not only is there interest among the voters of South Carolina, not only is it surging, but so is the fundraising proceeds overnight. All of a sudden, there's a great deal of interest on the part of people who want to contribute to the campaign or redeem their pledges. So it's really working for us. Let me just say that I don't think anything's going to be decided. As Chris pointed out, very few delegates have been awarded so far.
Right.
And as we go into these southern primaries with all of these candidates, maybe absent Governor Christie, the vote will still be split up, so nothing will be decided in those primaries. And then we go into the Midwest, where Kasich is strong.
Well, and I wanted to bring that up because proportionality is good for you. While we wait till he gets to potentially to Ohio, which is his state on March 15th, because you mentioned the upper Midwest, you have March 8th, Michigan. You have Massachusetts as part of Super Tuesday. Do you expect him to do well in those states?
Well, we do, and those are winner-take-all primaries. That's where it gets really serious. He's obviously going to win Ohio, where he's very popular, and that Midwestern ethic or neighborliness, shall we say, is going to affect the vote in Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota. We expect to do very well out there. We're in all of the states, and we're going to be competitive in all of the states. But that's where we're going to reach the decisive point.
Okay, I understand the Midwestern sensibilities. I'm from Minnesota. Now, let's go back to that hot plate thing. Because in Minnesota, we call it hot dish. But here's a picture of the hot plate. How many meals did you make on that thing?
Well, I didn't, but we had volunteers, Gretchen, from 24 states camped out in campaign headquarters. It looked, frankly, like a refugee center at night with the sleeping bags all spread out. And they were literally preparing their food on this hot plate. And during, frankly, one of the low periods in the campaign 2 or 3 months ago, I sent that photo to John Kasich, and he took some inspiration from it, knowing that these kids were so devoted that they were going to that length for his campaign.
Very nice story. Senator
Inspiring
Humphrey.
story.
It was. Thanks so much for being on The Real Story.
My pleasure. Thank you.